Welcome to the Modern Eco Village. We are building a community in the south of Spain for 500 households, a complete community focused on health, sustainability, and community interaction. Our goal is to create a green oasis where we can upgrade different aspects of our lives, get closer to nature while keeping the modern comfort and technology. So listen up. Hello. Welcome to the Modern Eco Village podcast. I have two very special guests here today. I'm joined by Siri and by Bricht, and I'm very happy to announce that they are going to be one of the most, I think, integral parts of our community because they are wanting to run our farm in the Modern Eco Village. And to me personally, that's such a big part of this project, that we have a farm, that we are growing our foods, that we have our own animals, that we're taking care of the land. We had an interaction, I think, last week or so with somebody who said, but it's so important that we're not just coming into this land and we're just building amazing houses there, but that we're actually taking care of the land. And I really resonate with that, and I think it's so important for this concept. So I'm really happy that the two of you are here and that you want to be part of this, and you are going to be part of making sure that this land actually feels taken care of and not just we're living on it. So I'm very, very grateful for the two of you, and I'm excited to dive a little bit into what that looks like.
Yep.
Yeah.
The MEV really needs
the MEV really
amazing
needs that.
farm, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So many benefits from it.
Definitely, yeah. So before we dive into what can this farm look like? What are we going to do there? I'm really curious about what was your motivation to do this? What made you say, hey, I have a stable job, I'm just going to do something completely different with my life now and just, quit that job and do, open a farm. That's an extreme thing.
Yeah.
What made you do that?
Yeah, it's probably because I grew up on a farm. So, of course, I love animals. Mm-hmm. So I've been working on a farm, my parents' farm, for all my since I was young. And other farms in that area. So then I met Siri, and she was totally afraid of all animals.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Complete opposite. But then when she visited the farm the first time, she started cuddle with a lamb, and after that she can adopt every animal we see around. So
wow, that's a 180.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We have this picture the first time I'm holding a lamb and just like covering my arms and everything, and now I don't care. I just pick them up and yeah.
I do want to hold a lamb in my arms. That so sounds cute. Amazing. So, beautiful. Yeah. Well, that sounds...
So we both love animals, and also our kids. They absolutely love it. When we're at my parents' farm, they just want to stay outside, run after the lambs and cuddle and give them food. And
that's kind of what we're supposed to do, right? Be a little bit more outside and in touch with nature, and that's basically what we're trying to do in the MEF. That we are giving the things to our bodies, our nervous system, our mental and physical health that helps us be healthy. And absolutely. This definitely is one part of it. We're supposed to be in tune with nature and the animals and all of that. So I love that your kids will be able to do that.
Yeah, there's so many benefits from the kids to stay outside and bring up the animals and help the animals that need help, for example. It's a really good experience for them. That's why I want to include the children as well of the village as much as possible. So
I love that, and let's talk about the plans in a little bit, because I know people will be very excited about that. But what I'm hearing is that you say you kind of want this for your own children. You want your children to kind of grow up a little bit more like what you had, because you really enjoyed that. I heard you talk about the farm before, and I saw the sparkle in your eyes, how amazing it was to grow up around all of these animals for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciated growing up on the farm and spending a lot of time with the animals, and it's a good way as well for the children to learn responsibility
That's so true. Yeah, taking care of other living beings.
So one of the biggest reasons we want to go to the MEV is for our children as well to grow up in that environment.
Yeah, very true. These children are going to have an amazing upbringing. I already say this. I'm so happy for myself, but I'm especially happy for the children in the MEV, the way they're going to grow up. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, thank you so much. Maybe Siri, what was your motivation? Is it very similar to Brikt's motivation? I mean, you didn't grow up in a farm, so what was your motivation for this?
I think it's mostly the same, but I also like to harvest things and make my own food and do all these kinds of things. So I see the possibility there. So, and I always wanted to have like a big garden and everything. So I think we can get it there.
Definitely.
Yeah. I like to make things of food also, or from the vegetables and everything, like fermenting and everything. So yeah.
That sounds perfect. Wonderful. Okay. I'm so curious also what you would say, coming from a farm in Norway, what are the differences to a farm in Spain maybe? Because you grew up with this and it's probably kind of in your blood already that you know how to run a farm, but I'm sure, I mean, I'm curious, but I'm sure also our listeners are very curious. What is the difference and what have you already seen? What might be differences between a farm in Norway and a farm in Spain?
Yeah, it's definitely the climate. So it's a lot warmer and a lot less rain than in Norway. So in the farm I grew up, we didn't have to worry about the grass growing like we do here. So we have to find the best solutions to improve the soil, to have a healthy soil, and so the grass and everything will grow for our animals. And
very important. That's true. So there is a huge difference. I mean, especially in the climate between Spain and Norway. It's so funny. We just had a couple come into the office today, also from Norway. They are, by the way, I know you know them. They want to also help out with the land, as in helping with the bees. So that's also something that's going to be really important, right? We're talking about bigger animals like sheep, goats, donkeys, something like that. But then also smaller animals like the insects. All of these are part of this this ecosystem. But they came in today spontaneously into the office, and they said in the morning it was +4 degrees in Norway just now, and then they came here and it's 34 degrees here right now. So there is a huge difference in the climate. But what would you say, especially on the trip that you had to the farm last month, I think it was, right? What are some of the solutions that they had that you guys really liked, that you say, okay, these are things that we want to put into place for Spain, because they have some experience, and you can combine this knowledge with the knowledge of Norway?
Yeah, of course, they grew up in this area and they know how to farm in this climate, so it's really important to learn from the local farmers around. And what they do as well, like they mix their own food in a special way, so it's healthy and very good for that exact type of animals they have there, for example. So that's really good to see. I think the possibilities here in Spain are better in that way than in Norway, because there is more standardized everything.
That's cool. I love it. And I love that there are already farms that you're in contact with that are so eager to help also, right? You visited the farm with Belinda and Janku, and they showed you around everywhere, and I saw some really cute pictures. Yes. With a donkey, or what was that? A donkey?
5 donkeys. Yeah. They were really cozy, and coming. We had our children also, and they came immediately to our youngest, and they just wanted to have him cuddle them.
Oh, that's so cute! I love that.
So that was nice.
Yeah. I think afterwards Belinda was even more adamant that we're going to have donkeys.
Yeah, the first thing both Siri and Belinda said was, "Oh, we're going to bring these donkeys home now."
Yes. There's going to be a donkey movement in the map. Oh, cool. So I think it's really amazing to see that there's farmers already that we can work with that want to help us with this solution. What are maybe some of the other plans or solutions that you had for the farm? So what's kind of the vision that you have? What do you want to create here in the MEV?
With animals?
With the farm, with the fermenting that you're also doing, with everything.
We were thinking like have two farms, like one, like the main farm will be more like for the animals to be by themselves, where they can like do follow their instincts, and if they don't want to have any humans around, they can just do their own thing. And then we were thinking about having this smaller one, like children's farm, or I don't know what to call it, where the kids can like come and collect eggs from the chickens, and they can cuddle if there is any lambs or goats who don't get milk from their mother, we have to like feed them with a bottle, and then they can help with those things.
I want to do that. Can I pretend to be a kid for this? Yes. I definitely want to feed a lamb.
It's gonna be a lot of kids.
Grown-up kids.
Yeah, so, and then the school and the local kindergarten can help out with the things if they want to. And of course, anyone who lives in the village who wants to like be around animals can be there. And I think that we were thinking about the goats and the chickens and maybe a few lambs or the donkeys. I mean the donkeys, yes. Also
the donkeys. Beautiful. Yes. I really love how you want to put some educational part into this also, because like Brick, you said that earlier, right? That you want your kids also to learn that responsibility of nature, animals, other living beings, and I think there's nothing better than combining that with the school system. Something that I noticed in the MEV that is so cool is how some people come with their ideas and then it just like really neatly fits with the other ideas of other people. So other people have been saying, I know you're also in our school community circle, right? So other people have been saying, okay, we want a school system that is very practical. We want kids to actually learn things like, where do the eggs come from, and how do I raise animals? How do I plant my own food? How do I like all of these things that we kind of lost in this society? To bring some of these things back. So I think it's a really beautiful idea to kind of bring that back together again. Yeah, that's wonderful. I love that.
Me too.
Cool. Any other plans that you have you might want to share about? So there's going to be the smaller part, the children's farm, and then I don't want to call it the actual farm, but maybe the bigger farm behind it. What are some plans for that one?
I think the important things is to, of course, we want the best egg and meat that we can get. And we want to do it in a way, the best way for the animals. There's too many animals around the world today that, don't see daylight or anything like that. So that's going to be the most important thing. Yeah,
I'm actually a vegetarian. I've been for half of my life. And after we talked about the plans that you also have, I was saying to the others in the office, I think this might be the only way that I might want to try meat again if it's done that way, because then I feel good about it. Yeah.
That's true. Like they need to grow in their own speed. They need to get daylight. So they need to be outside, be physical, and be curious about what's around them. And,
not be forced to grow as fast and fat as possible. Yeah, exactly.
That's really important.
Yeah, I love that. I think these animals are going to have a really amazing life in your farm. Yeah,
so.
I'm very sure. What are maybe some ideas about the soil? Because I know we talked about the regenerative part of it also, and I know you're really passionate about that. So what are some of those plans that you have for that?
Yeah, we're going to try maybe do some rotational grazing, that we move or have the animals in one area and then move them all around the farm, because then they eat the grass and everything in one area, and then this area is gonna rest for a long time until they come back to that area.
Yeah.
That's a very good way for the soil to improve.
To regenerate, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And there are so many benefits with it. If you improve the soil is gonna take a lot of carbon from the air. That's really good for the environment.
Amazing.
And it's gonna keep the water much better. And so when it rains, you actually keep the water in the area instead of it's just goes to the closest river or lake or something.
Yeah, that's something that maybe not necessarily in the area that we're going to be in Planes, but here in Spain, right, there has been so many floods and things like that. So yeah, we need solutions like this a lot.
And then we don't need to use that much of the water that's in the area if we can keep it better, for example. So
that's
hopefully
beautiful.
get it greener as well in the area that's already green, but we always want it to be even more.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really beautiful to see how the landscape shapes. We're here at the coast right now in Albir, right? And it's rather dry. But then if you go there, it's already getting greener, and there hasn't been any irrigation or anything like that for 15, 20 years. So once we start that, once you start with the farm and the animals are there and they're improving the soil, it's gonna feel very, very different even to now. Yeah.
That's true.
That's wonderful. Cool. We already talked about some portable chicken coops, so you can coop all the chickens in the coop and then carry it around the MEV, and I really like that idea.
Yeah. Our boys, they were already planned to modify their bikes so they can ride around and deliver eggs. So,
oh, that's perfect. I love that. We're now going to have, what are they called in the States, Cassie, behind our mixer? Not paper boys. What do you call people who do the newsletters?
Like the postmans?
Yeah, but aren't there usually like little kids who often do that in the state?
Yes, yeah, Paperboy is right.
Paperboy? Yeah, okay, and then we're going to have egg boys. I like that.
I call dibs.
You call dibs. Cassie wants the fresh eggs every single morning delivered to her house. Sounds good. Cool. Amazing. And one question that I also had around this, how do you want to scale this? Where do you want to start? What is maybe the beginning size of the farm, but also the animals? And then do you want to grow this bigger? Do you want to start with a bigger batch? What are your ideas about this?
We want to try and keep it small in the beginning, because we need to learn the soil and everything around us, and then gradually increase. But our idea is to produce for the village, so we can keep it small enough to have the animal welfare that we want. Yeah. So we don't want to be too big.
Yeah, we don't want to scale it so big that it loses its actual meaning. Yeah. So Cassie, maybe not every day eggs, but maybe every other day.
I will compromise. That's okay.
Oh, but we'll try to have enough eggs for the whole village. But not for the bigger area.
Yeah. Very good. I love that. Okay. One thing that I'm also really excited to talk about, Siri, is how we're talking about producing food for the village around eggs, milk, things like that. But you also have a passion in life, and that is fermenting. And we were all really, really excited when we heard about that. And I know already here in Albir, people are already gushing about how amazing your fermenting food is. I know Maria said at her birthday, this is the best birthday gift that you could have given me, that you give me some of your products. So I'm very happy that we're going to be blessed with all of that every day. You want to talk a little bit about the fermenting?
Yeah, it's just something I really like to do. I have been doing it for, I think, maybe 15 years now.
Wow.
So I started really small. I remember when I was picking up my first Scooby, I was bicycling. We lived in Stavanger then, so I was going with my bike to pick up a Scooby from a lady I didn't know. And then, it just started first small with like experimenting at home, and I think Britt was a bit frustrating because he had to try to eat everything and he didn't like it. But now he also like eats it every day. So
we're very grateful that you were the guinea pig and now we get the good product at the end.
Yeah, and it's just been my passion. And I used to have this online store when we lived in Norway, where I was shipping from to like the whole of the Norway. But then when we moved here, I of course can't ship the kale from Spain to Norway. So, but I want to do something like that again. So yeah, like producing the sauerkraut and maybe fermented kombucha or ginger ale or something like that.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, the German in me likes the sauerkraut idea.
It's good.
Yeah, very healthy. I love that.
Yeah, it's really tasty.
Yeah, and it's again one of these ways where we say, okay, people have been doing this for I don't know how long, thousands of years, right? To make sure that the food stays good and then even add something. It's not just, okay, we're putting it in a freezer and we hope that basically the same thing comes out again, but we're improving it because it's such a good process for our bodies to eat fermented food. And
it is like a lot of probiotics and vitamin K and a lot of good stuff in there. So it's really it's good for the gut. And
I'm excited about the taste, and my body's very excited about the good health benefits from it.
That's good.
Amazing. Well, thank you both so much for this. I think we're all very excited about what this is all gonna bring for this village, and I'm also really curious for people who are listening now if they have any ideas and if they want to, bring more of these ideas. Like I said. They all kind of come together and they combine, and it's a network. It's not just one person doing this, but it really takes a village. And I think the two of you are really showing this with the idea of the farm and the fermenting and combining it with the school and having kids really take responsibility and learn, all of these ways that we kind of lost sometimes a little bit. So if any people are interested in doing something similar that goes neatly into what you guys have been talking about, we're very happy to have people reach out.
Absolutely. It's the farm for the whole village. So.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Thank you both for being here. I really appreciated this.
Yeah, thank you for inviting us.